Hi, welcome to the Garrett is God podcast. My name is Julie Taylor, and I am your host, and I am not God. Obviously, I'm not an expert. I'm not even a scriptorian. I'm literally just a girl sitting in front of a microphone, hoping God is real. The Garrett is God podcast is the daily devotional podcast to help you see divinity in every day. I just did a little trick with the microphone at the beginning of that, and it didn't really work. And most of you aren't watching the video on that anyways, but I was trying to do something, and that's probably why I sounded crazy. Okay, today I woke up, and I thought, I don't want to. And that's often a theme of my life. I don't want to. I don't want to go to work. I don't want to go to church. I don't want to put away laundry. I don't want to brush my teeth. And what that does is creates this constant narrative in my head that every part of my life is something that I don't want to do. And man, what a crappy reality to live in, right? And I have been quoted as saying, nobody's quoted me. I have heard myself say this, of like 98% of my life is stuff I don't want to do. How sad, first of all. But is that accurate? No, it's not. No, it is not. You know what that is? That is a narrative that fuels victim mentality and makes me hate my life. I think that I've said that before, of like 98% of my life is stuff that I don't want to do, because I have often been what's the word? Proponent of the importance of doing stuff that you don't want to do to build the life that you actually do want. So what I think to be true is that I actually just want to stay in bed all the time. Or I just want to do nothing, and I want to be able to go on walks and go to Pilates and then get lunch and come home and have an easy, slow life. Like, that's what I think that I want. What, in my experience though, what I want and what I need are not always the same things. And so I've been grateful for opportunities to kind of force myself to do things that I don't necessarily want to do, because I do believe that it gives me a better life and makes me better and creates more fulfillment and actual like depth to joy in my life. So here's the thing. At the core, I actually do want to do that, right? Because these are the results that I want. And so when I tell myself all day long, I don't want to, my whole life is doing things I don't want to do, that's actually BS. It's not true. Living in a reality where you are believing, you're choosing the belief and you're reinforcing the belief over and over and over again all day that you don't get to do anything that you want to do and that you don't want to do anything that you have to do. That's just like a crappy reality. And it's fueling victim mentality. You are a victim to your life at that point, and that is suffocating. To be a victim to your life is the least amount of freedom, the least empowering belief you can ever be. You're trapped. You're trapped by victim mentality. So to move myself out of that, what I like to do is to get to the point where I'm able to be honest with myself about something I do want to do. So if I say, I don't want to go to work today, okay, then don't. But I have to. Do you have to? Well, because I want to keep my job. Okay, why do you want to keep your job? I'm not going to be too transparent here about the line of questioning, what my actual motives are. But you can get to a point where you'll eventually say, oh, I actually do want to do this because of this. So it comes up a lot in motherhood, right? Because motherhood often demands things of us that are not fun, that we don't want to do. But when I can say, I don't want to get out of bed today and take care of my kids. Okay, then don't. I have to. Do you? Yes, because if I didn't, then my kids wouldn't be taken care of. Okay, and you do want your kids to be taken care of. Yes, that's important to me. Okay, so you do want to get out of bed and take care of them because you want them to be taken care of. You want that result. So at some point, you are choosing it. This exercise can be a little exhausting, but I think it's really important to challenge ourselves. I don't know if this is something that you struggle with. Maybe this is just a me problem and this episode is obsolete. But I face it a lot in faith because I tell myself every day, I just want to leave faith again. I do. When people leave faith, I'm jealous. I'm jealous. When I find out another friend has left faith, whether it be religion or faith in general, I feel jealous. Is that a weird reaction? I don't know. I have explored it quite a bit. And I think it's because a story that I tell myself is, this is too hard. I don't want to have to choose this. I don't want to choose faith. I don't want to choose belief. I have to fight too hard for it. It would be so much easier just to do whatever I want and not have to sacrifice in these ways and not have to cultivate this belief and not have to work so hard. It just feels easier to quit. I just want to quit faith. And so when people do, I feel jealous. I am not saying their path is easier because I've walked that path, but I'm just being really transparent. I feel jealous when people quit faith. And so a story that I tell myself a lot is, I don't want to do this. I don't want to believe. I don't want to go to church. I don't want to serve people. And when I let myself believe that narrative over and over and over and over again, I can feel like I'm a victim to faith and I'm a victim to choosing God. And that is ridiculous. Because the reason that I choose this is because it has been proven to me time and time and time again that it gives me a better life, that it makes me a person that I want to be. But not only that, it's not at the cost of so much suffering and sacrifice. It actually makes my life experience better. Believing in God makes me happier today. Serving people makes me more fulfilled and content in my life. I'm the one reaping the benefits of these choices firsthand in real time. So blah, 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 it's so much sacrifice and it's so hard and I have to work so hard. I'm the one benefiting from it. So to lie to myself and say, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do this, it's not true. I do want to do it because I want those outcomes. This is just the cost of those outcomes. I don't really want to eat vegetables. I don't, but I like to be digestively regular. And I think micronutrients are important to my health. And I want those outcomes. So I eat the vegetables. Do I sound like a 5-year-old? Yes, okay? There's some vegetables that I actually really do enjoy, okay? I'm just using that as an example. There's a lot of things I don't want to do, but I want the outcomes. So then, at the core, I actually do want to do it. We're not victims. We're not victims. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. There's a cost to that, though. And if you don't want to pay that price, then you do actually want to do it. TLDR, you're not a victim to your life, baby. You can actually do whatever you want. You can literally do whatever you want. There are natural consequences, and you might not like those consequences, though. So choose accordingly. But let's not sit here, and I'm lecturing you right now. I'm only talking to myself. This is a lecture for me and mine because it is too easy to believe the narrative that I am a victim to my choices and that I have to spend my whole life doing things I don't want to do. I want to do it at some level. Otherwise, I wouldn't do it. The thing about me is I don't do anything I don't want to do. That's why sometimes my car gets towed in Scotland. So there's consequences, and I stand by that choice, by the way. It worked out fine. Anyways, if you're feeling trapped, if you're feeling stuck in a negativity loop of, I just have to do so many things I don't want to do, challenge yourself to get to the core where you understand that you're doing it based off an actual desire to get a desired outcome at some level. You'll always get there. You'll always get to the root of why you're doing it. And it's just a more empowering way to live, to believe that you're choosing rather than being forced into things. You're a grown-up. You don't actually have to do anything. So if you're doing it, it must be because you want it in some way. So let's tell ourselves that story instead. Anyways, I wish you luck in doing all of the things you don't really want to do today, but you're choosing to do because you want the desired outcomes. I wish you luck in that. We're all fighting hard battles. And you know what? Choosing God is one of them for me. Love you so much. Bye.